long break again, it seems. Jay just nonchalantly states he's been stalking Tim. We're gonna be getting into some of Jay's flaws later in this season. But anyway, he stalks Tim and finds an antique store that Tim visited. He goes to talk to one of the workers there, and she says that Tim usually is coming in there after his doctor appointments. She says that there is a doctor's office down the street, but it turns out it's actually a mental health clinic. But Jay, realizing he can't just barge in and ask, hey, do you guys know where Tim is, he decides to wait outside every day for a week. What the fuck? Jay and Nick start to see as insane as hoodie here. Eventually, Jay's patience is rewarded, however. When Tim comes out, he asks Tim if Tim remembers him. Tim says no, which most likely is because of memory loss, as we have seen with other characters. Eventually, Jay brings up Marble Hornets, and Tim does slightly recall it. Jay asks Tim if he'd be willing to help Jay restore the Marble Hornets film, because he doesn't want to see Alex's work go to waste. Tim says sure, but he has to go to the doctor's appointment and ask if he can do it later. Later eventually comes, and Tim and Jay have a little bit of talk. Jay asks Tim if he's been okay, since Tim did just go to a mental health clinic. And Tim says he's been fine, he's been having some issues with his own personal health, but they're getting better, and the only real issues in his life right now is work and school. They talk about wanting to restore the film, but eventually Tim gets a phone call and has to go to work. But to make sure Jay can talk to him again about his film, Tim sends Jay's phone number. Eventually, Tim leaves, and Jay ordered him to update pretty much. Jay eventually talks about how, although we pack in entry 15, yeah, we're on entry like 53 now. Time flies. He figured that, well, since Tim doesn't remember me, I'm just going to use that same story I used earlier. I tried to ask him, hey, restore the film. Eventually, Jay gets a phone call from Tim, and Tim says, hey, I have some old tapes that me and Alex were filming, some behind-the-scenes stuff. I never gave them back. Would you like them? Jay says sure, and I'm pretty sure this part right here is the crazy. There's a little bit of a coincidence happening here. The coincidence